Alrighty, guys. Can you guys hear me? Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1, 2, guys. Can you hear me? Alright, document. Today is day 25th. I think today's day 226, right? Let's double check. Yeah, 276, sorry. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Day 276, 434. And we'll go. Alright, guys. Got that going. Let's go live on Instagram as well now. Alright, cool. We're live on Instagram now. Put that there. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna have to restart it, unfortunately. Alrighty, guys. Today's green day. Okay, hold on a second. Hope you guys had a great trading day out there. Alright, guys, I'm just getting everything posted. Hope you guys had a great trading day out there. Hope you guys please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the icon to alert for my new videos. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Today was definitely a great trading day. Definitely a big bright green trading day. As you can see, you know, we crushed it out there. And hopefully you guys are subscribing to the channel as always. Yeah, today was pretty smooth for me. Today was a pretty smooth day. You know, I know it seems kind of stressful, but to be honest, I traded my plan the whole day. I didn't get back any profits, and it felt good to kind of be back trading on a Monday and kind of sticking to my rules. Let's see if this is going to work. Hopefully it does. See if that works. Please work. Alright, cool. We're live on Instagram now. Yeah, guys, so I'm just getting everything set up here. Just give me one quick second. Today was a bright green day at $434,000 on the trading day. We're shooting for that $500,000 mark, but I'm never going to take a trade that I feel like I don't have an edge or confidence in just because I want to make more money. That's always the poor man's decision. I'm trying to shoot for something that's not there. You'll mainly be shot down, and you might as well go to the casino at that point. If you decide to trade something that you yourself don't have an edge on, or feel like you have, an edge, Because really, you're not going to be comfortable in a trade if you yourself don't feel that you have a proven edge. Not me, not someone else, not Jim Cramer, not Warren Buffett. Those guys all obviously are solid traders, but they have their own plan, their own process, and their own strategies, guys. And they feel comfortable in their trades. Because the thing is, if you were to get in any one of those trades, or even my trades, you might end up losing on it just because you don't have the same process, the same plan, the same strategies to feel comfortable in a trade. So it's all about building your own process, your own strategy, and your own plan to get yourself into a comfortable position and make consistent profits. But if you can't do that, then it's all about studying and trying to find materials to get yourself to that point, guys. So give me 1 second here. All right, cool. Posted that on social media now. Let's go live on TikTok. All right. 434K. All right, guys. Cool. We're live. All right, guys. So, yeah, today's portfolio, we're up about 43% in the portfolio today. So, a solid day on a $1 million portfolio. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your trading day out there. Hopefully, you guys had a great trading day. I noticed a lot of, especially traders that I look for on social media, it was either a bright green day or a bright red day. And I was trying to focus on making sure I don't dig myself in any kind of hole or anything like that. Because, at the end of the day, when you're digging yourself in a hole and, you're getting yourself into a position where, you yourself, it's hard to get out of, or you just keep trading the same stock. And it's one of my rules of thumb, which I made a mistake on the other day. And ever since that day, I've never traded better. It was like 3 or 4 days ago where I just kept taking the same stock and kept trading and kept trading and kept trading and kept losing on it. And that's what's called revenge trading. You're looking at one stock and you keep taking a trade and taking a trade and taking a trade until you really screw that up. And I was up, 230 or 200. I was actually up as much as 286,000 on the day. And then I brought my profits all the way back down to 96,000. And I know it was still a green day, but that was one of my worst trading days in the past 2 months, was just revenge trading. And I was sticking to my plan, my process, my strategy. Might as well go to the casino instead of studying and figuring out how I'm going to get an edge in the market. So yeah, guys, we're live here at NorMicroTrading.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Sean Hardman, just keep working and get better. Keep focusing on your strategies, and if you want to make more percentages, then you gotta build your knowledge, build your power up, and continue to strive to make every day better than yesterday. Yeah, guys. So today we're up $434,000, but I don't want that P&L to blow you out of the water. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but as a trader, it's all relative. I have $1 million account now. It's obviously almost $5 million account, and I know it's gonna sound crazy, and I know, and I'm working on getting this all audited at this point because I want to inspire and motivate more of you guys, because it does sound not real and not believable and completely fake. But believe it or not, guys, we have now taken $1,000, and in 276 business days, roughly, we've now taken that into just over $7.5 million. Okay, all from $1,000. I never used any leverage or anything like that. But the reason why until I got to about 4.8 million, and then I had trade zero, and I had no choice but to use leverage, because they don't let you not use 1-to-1. But the reason why I say this, guys, is to motivate and inspire you guys. And you guys have to realize, that this doesn't happen overnight. I've been trading now for about 3.5, 4 years full time. Or let's see, I started trading full time. It was about June of 2017. Okay, and obviously, I considered to get better and better and better over time, right? I had to go through PDT, which was a problem that I had in my trading, right? Where, I had an issue where, getting from 1,000 to 25,000 was probably one of the hardest points of the challenge. But once I got past that $25,000 mark, guys, I've really kind of taken off and never really looked back. And obviously, I say this again to inspire, but again, you guys have to realize 90% of traders fail, and I'm probably one of the 0.0001% of the traders. But I'm doing my best to kind of go over my trades with you guys. I have a course as well that you guys are available to purchase if you want. It's completely up to you. I do it to help you guys. Some of you guys who think, oh yeah, I make all my money on courses. Trust me, I make. It's not even in comparison. The amount of money I make trading compared to courses, and that's how I've always been in my mind. I'm always going to be a trader that leads as an example. I don't ever want to be a trader that ends up building his educational academy or educational business, and it's bigger than his trading, because that's just not the way I want to build. I want to be the best trader in the world at one point in my career. I do want to be at a point where I'm trading like Warren Buffett, and I want to be up there with the Jeff Bezoses, and that's truly my goal. And I'm going to stop at nothing to get there. And I know since the very beginning, 3 years ago and 4 years ago, you guys thought, I know everybody says it, right? But I mean it. And you guys don't see the hard work that I put in every single day to get myself, to better myself every day and day out. I watch all sorts of documentaries about how, Bill Gates did it, how Jeff Bezos did it, how Warren Buffett did it. I study those guys like there's no tomorrow. And I mean that. And that's what it takes. Study people who are doing big things around you. Surround yourself full of people that, are successful. And it doesn't always have to be financially. I also study people who, better me with my sleeping habits, or better me in my socializing, better me in every part of my life. It's not just about finance. Finance is a big part of the world we live in, but I'm trying to better every piece of my life and not just that one piece. But it's obviously a big piece that, unfortunately, if you don't have it, you can't put food on the table. And that's a real thing. So that's why I took this so seriously, because putting a roof over your head and putting food on the table and keeping your health proper, you have to have capital. We all have to make a living. And that's the world we live in. But beyond that, life is much more than just beyond that. Life is much more than just money. It's much, much more beyond that. Life is about, creating your health. Health is always number one, and then finance. Because if you don't have health, you will not have anything. And that's why I focus a lot about my health. And I might not be the best at it, but every day I get better, and every day I try and work on it. And, I also try and read and things like that. I mean, I'm not going to go into too much, but I'm just telling you guys, okay, this didn't happen overnight. All right, this takes time, it takes work, it takes a lot of studying, it takes a lot of sacrifice that I've gone over in many, many, many videos. The truth is I lost about half my net worth when I first started trading and almost quit. I told everybody I was going to quit, but luckily I had a harder head than that, and I didn't quit. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and go. I'm not going to go on a huge rant and huge, thing like that, but let's go over how I made $434,000+ in one day. Okay, I'm sorry about my camera being frozen. It always does that. I'm moving here within the next week to my house that I just bought, and I'm going to motivate you guys with the new house that I just bought, because the view is amazing. It's in a great area. It's pretty expensive house, but trading and has helped me, be able to live that kind of life. It's just a different lifestyle at this point in my life, guys. And I'm very fortunate to be able to retire at any point in my life at this point, but I'm here for you guys. I was able to do that a while ago, and now I'm just here to motivate, inspire, and to hopefully have a mentor and a teacher that I never had when I first started trading. Yes, I bought a $2.4 million house, all cash, spacey. And I know it sounds like here I am with all this kind of crazy amount of cash and money, and look at me, I'm just throwing money around left and right. But guys, I just say all of this to be honest, transparent, and when I have big red days, I will be the first one to admit it. You guys can go back and look at all of my streams. I'm always going to show you my red days. I had 4 or 5 red days in a row like a week and a half ago. I was going through a rough patch, okay? But I say this to inspire, and I say this to show you guys the possibilities. The possibilities in trading are seriously endless. I could have made so much more money today if I traded a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. I mean, I left so much on the table, but at the end of the day, every day is a new day. Every day is a better day, okay? But yeah, so let's go ahead and go over GameStop. All right, GameStop, I traded this one a lot today. This is my main trades today. I made pretty much all my trades were basically on GameStop today that made me any kind of money. And I want to go over the big trade that I made. And I guess we'll pull it up on Thinkorswim. This is all the trades that I made. Here's all the trades that I made down here, the ins and outs of my trades, okay? I actually shorted KOSS, 5,000 shares, 1050, covered it at 994, down to $9. Would have made more money, but again, it was just a scalp, nothing more. But GameStop, guys, I'll go over my trades and kind of show you guys exactly where I made my biggest trade on it and where I had my most confidence in the trade. Okay, guys, so GameStop, guys, GameStop is right here, okay? GameStop is, so honestly, I was watching this one all day, and I was like, I realistically was hoping this thing would gap to 90 or 100 to get the kind of volatility that I wanted today. And luckily, we got that gap up, and I was like, wow, this is going to be an awesome day. Now, you know, I was actually long and took a couple of paper cut losses in here. I was long right here before this pop-up, and then I stopped out for like a $5,000 loss in here. And then this thing recovered like right on cue, and then we never looked back. And I ended up screwing up 2 longs in here because I really did think we would get over 100 and then start to squeeze out the shorts and get into that parabolic mode, right? But I actually screwed the whole trade up. And mentally, I was just watching this one the whole way up. You know, I watched the whole thing. I was trying to be in here to prepare myself for it if this happened. I felt like the shorts were showing up on the time and sales in the level 2, and basically what the time and sales in level 2 on the bid and the ask were telling me was that the buyers were beating the sellers and beating the shorts and trying to squeeze those shorts out and churn them out. And I just got a little bit too much size and a little bit too much chopped out because I didn't want to see this thing flush on down. I also had tight stops because at that point in the day I was up very small. I was trying to build my padding for the day, and I ruined the long out. And then I couldn't get any kind of dips that I felt comfortable with. Right here, I was looking for a dip under 100. If we got under 100, I would have longed it and probably would have sold out above 110, right? We never got under 100. And we had a nice sell-off here, and I almost relonged it in there. I didn't quite get enough. I wanted under 100 again. We didn't get it, okay? Squeeze back up, and I just, at this point, I was really looking at it short. But being short on Friday, and I was actually short somewhere like at $65 a share, and I ended up being down like 80,000. And I thought this was going to be the parabolic move. And luckily covering it in here and actually getting a win out of it was great. But at the end of the day, you know, it was one of those where, you know, that mentally screwed me up short on this name. And mentally, I couldn't get myself to short. Now, if that would have never happened mentally today, you know, honestly, I probably would have been shorting into this pop and into this pop and had to deal with another, you know, trade that I was down 100 plus K on. I could just see myself doing that and getting a little bit uncomfortable again with the squeeze. But as you can see here, this thing paid out so fast. I mean, if I was able to short it in this extension, literally one candle down, we halted at 131, and 5 minutes later, in 5 minutes, you're up 30% on your short, right? I actually longed this dip in here with small size, and I believe I made about like 35 to 40,000. I longed it. Let's try and find this trade. It's kind of hard to find all the trades, but let's try and find it here. GameStop, yeah, that was it. So I had 5,000 shares. I made $32,000 on it. 124 in, 130 out. So 124 was right in here, and then when I said over 130, I'm going to scale out. I wanted to reshort any pops, but again, seeing this move and mentally, I was just kind of shaken up from that. I didn't want to get myself in any kind of sticky situation, so I just said, you know what, let it go. And I let it go, and I just kind of watched everything that was happening in here. And I really couldn't get any comfortability long or short. Let's see if I took any trades. I don't remember. So after that trade, okay, I took one more quick long for 1,000 shares, but you can tell that's a feeler. It's 1,000 shares. Lost $1,700, all right? I actually took one more trade on it, 5,000 shares before the big trade. I took 5,000 shares at $92 and out basically $101, $44,000 right there. So I ended up longing right in here. I had market buys already actually preset. So when this thing unopened, I was gonna buy like right as the market opened, which it did, and it actually scaled me in terribly. This thing was down. It opened at like 86, and I got fills at 92. So, I mean, I was kind of a little pissed off there. And then, you know, I was giving myself room with those scales that if this thing went through the low a day, I was going to actually add into the lows And that just takes experience. That just takes, to kind of get a feel for this, guys, it takes experience, watching the Tilray, right? You go back and look at Tilray. All right, you guys can go back and look at all those stocks. I remember seeing this thing go from $20 to $300 and then this huge move down, right? You go back and look at the other names, and I can't even remember anything right offhand. There's like, what was it? I'm not going to remember it. But I go back and look, and I study all these previous volatile names. And the value in trading, guys, especially in day trading or in swing trading intraday, is finding stocks that are super liquid, that have massive amounts of volatility, right? Yeah, you go back and look at KODK, right? This thing went from $1.50 to $60, and look at the volatility. I mean, it's just crazy. You go back and look at SPI or U1, right? I mean, guys, that is where the money is made, and you have to wait for these type setups where there's a ton of volatility, a ton of liquidity, and then I prepared myself over the years for these situations time and time again. I've gone back and looked at Thinkorswim on demand and prepared myself for what these end up setting up. And honestly, they all pan out the same way. They have the parabolic move, and then they have the massive move down, and then there's a bounce back up, and then they kind of consolidate, risk off those lows. I mean, I can say this time and time again. I mean, I could literally textbook like parabolic, snap down, come back up with massive volume that I'll explain here in a second, get the perk back up 20, 30%, 40, 50, 60% on massive liquidity on a big name stock. Kind of comes down, almost retests the low a day, and then rips back up, tests 3 highs, and sometimes breaks those highs, and then usually that's the top, and then you could short the rest of the move back down because it usually never gets above that level ever. Guys, I mean, I've put in the time to know what it's like for these type stocks to move like this, and I've seen this move time and time again. It's up to you guys to go back and look at these stocks and study. And yes, these stocks do end careers. The ones that end careers are the ones that I follow. The ones that make careers are the ones that I follow. Because the reality is, I'm going to go where the money is flowing. Where the volatility is flowing, I will be there. I love volatility. Because people, humans, algos, they all get emotional. And algos not as much, but definitely humans. We all get emotional as traders. And if you sit back and study how people react to things, you can start to realize. If you go back and look at GameStop, right? On my big trade, I was waiting for this massive sell-off in here. This sell-off in here was the trade that I was looking for, and I had well over $1 million position on this trade because I prepared myself, okay? I knew I took a nice bounce there, okay, and I took a nice bounce there, but these were all just intraday moves. I'm capitalizing on intraday volatility, right? The faster you go down, the more volume you go down, the quicker you can come back up, right? And you can see here, guys, I literally bought some shares as we were halting. I bought 1,000 or 2,000 shares as we were showing halt right here. It's 60. Let's see if we can show those orders actually. Anyways, I don't want to. But anyways, I know I was buying right in here a couple thousand shares. Let's see if we can pull it up here. Actually, why not? So. Where? Okay. See if I can pull up so many orders throughout the day, guys. It's gonna be hard to find. Can we find the $60? Oh, here we are. 61.13, 1,000 shares. You can see me buying on the way down here, guys. I'm literally scaling in 1,000 shares at a time. I started my buys at 78, and then I actually started some buy, and then I started once we got under 70, I said, all right, I'm going to really start hammering down. And I still gave myself room for under 60. Under 60, I was going to be basically all in, okay? And it's not that easy to explain to me why I would be in that situation. But basically, long story short, I've gone back and looked at these heavy volatile names that make big-time moves up and down and just continue to study those type of moves and those trades, and you will capitalize. These are life-changing moves here, guys. This one bounce from 61 to 85, guys. I mean, look at the liquidity. I mean, we had 1.6 million shares coming through down here. And you can see, this thing, I told myself I'd buy a little bit on the open, but I wanted to see one more sell-off to really add in, right? And, Yeah, I mean, Oliver, yeah, I play more charts than I do actual, my long-term Vanguard portfolio is for actual fundamentals, right? I don't mess around with a whole lot of fundamentals when it comes to stocks. I mean, I do have catalyst reasonings, and I do have reasonings why I'm getting in and getting out. And the reality is I was going to buy this thing in my Vanguard. I remember being in a store, and I almost bought about 50 to 70 grand. I can't even remember how many shares I was going to buy, but I was going to buy some in my Vanguard, and I never did. But today pays for it because, I was able to take advantage of this volatility, guys. I mean, it's just crazy, right? But yeah, so I was, and you go back and look, and it's like, okay, now you're retesting yesterday. And you literally, once you get into the 160 from the highs and then being down now about 50% from the highs, that's something that you always watch, right? But seeing the amount of volume come through here, usually on the time of sales, when the tape starts really, really, really speeding up with massive, massive volume, it's an indication that you might get a turnaround. It's not always, but it's something that I use, right? And literally, guys, my average was 67. So I was down about 80 to 100K on this trade. But I knew going into this trade, I was willing to risk a lot of money because the setup was starting to pan out exactly how I wanted it to. If we would have got under 60, I would have had even bigger size. I gave myself cushion all the way down, right? And literally, we opened up unhalted and literally halted straight away at $72. And then I watched this thing come back up. My goal was, I wanted one more push through highs. So I wanted like 87s, 86s. I wanted one more solid push through the highs in this consolidation. We never got it. Luckily, I had the smarts to sell. I closed that position out. That one trade, 67, 70, 19,000 shares in, 82 out. So pretty happy. So white line is where I entered with the average position, with my average amount of 19,000 shares. And then this white line is where I exited. So right in that consolidation. I didn't like the way things were kind of slowing down on the tape. I didn't like the way the time and sales in level 2 were panning out. So I said, you know what, I'm stopping out. I'm happy with my profits. And I'm not going to let this thing sell off. And then I actually re-longed, guys. I re-longed on this consolidation in here, right? And I re-longed with a bigger position, again, because of the time and the effort that I've put in. I just explained to you what I was thinking. Have the lows, massive volume, we retest the lows, or we have a higher low, and then we break through those highs. And that was my mindset going into this next trade, and I had high conviction because I've seen it so long. I took almost a $2 million position. You can see 29,000 shares, 69.51, right? Right in here. And I was actually up right in here, where was it? I think I actually stopped out right in here. Watch this thing come back up. Now, see the volume here? Again, 500,000 shares. We got below, or retested those lows with a solid amount of volume, and this was the trade that would have panned out and would have paid out another 250, 300, 400,000. Okay? But I had too much size, and sizing is everything. It messes up mentally what you're doing with trades. Okay? So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys are learning from that. And then I took one more trade on it. Into the close. I started to watch this thing build higher lows and lower highs. Started to see, there was a lot of sellers coming on the ask, and I actually shorted it at 79.38 or something like that. Covered it after hours right in here. I ended up getting terrible fills at 76.28, 6,000 shares for $18,000 gains. And that's basically today's trading day. A lot of GameStop trades, made most of my money on GameStop. I took a BNGO trade as well. That was a $25,000 trade on BNGO. Took a couple of small losers on GME here. WNW, I made about $10,000 on. A little trade on that one. Stepped out. You can see a couple of paper cut losses on that. But yeah, guys. So hopefully you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It would mean a ton to me for the NorMagnoTrading.com community. I don't love, coming on here, especially going over my bread and butter trades, because you have to realize I'm giving you guys, free insights on my trading, and there's people out there that think that, by doing this, I'm giving away my edge. But the thing is, guys, is I don't care. I'm doing it for you guys. I know there'll always be volatility and there'll always be trades to teach and to mentor you guys and to give you guys examples of what's going on in the markets and how you can better your trade. So if you guys haven't already, if you guys could subscribe and like to this channel, I would really, really appreciate that. I come on here for free for you guys, and I truly don't know anybody making $500,000 days coming on and I'm just being honest. I say this from time to time. I don't know anybody, you guys can tell me, but I don't know anybody who's making $500,000 days and up, now 1.2 million in the past well over $1 million in the past 5 days, and having a free chat room and a free YouTube going over strategies and explaining everything. And the reality is it's up to you guys to decide. I have a course, but I do it for you guys. I charge money because it psychologically makes you study more, in my opinion. You can say I'm doing it to make money, whatever. But I'm giving you guys the resources. I know for a fact, if Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or Elon Musk made a course about life, if it was 50, 100, 200K, I would pay for it. I'm always about studying people who have done things in this life that are successful and they've perfected their craft. And not even necessarily perfected it, but always get into the mindset of trying to perfect it, because there never really is perfecting anything, okay? It's just always chasing the perfection. Those people I learn from in this world. I follow a lot of, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone. I follow a lot of different health people. I'm constantly trying to surround myself around like-minded people and building that knowledge and that value and that power and just building your strategies, your process, your plan, and every piece of your life and learning from people around you is kind of how we live this world, Whether you're in real estate, whether you're in health, whether you're in fitness, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, if I was any of those people, I would always be trying to learn from people that are better than me, the people that have proven themselves to push themselves and continue to grind and motivate and inspire. Those are the people that I look up to, and I will never have no one to look up to until I am, hopefully someday, I know it sounds crazy, but hopefully someday I am going to be right there with Warren Buffett and, Charlie Munger. And, that's my goal. And I've always meant it from day one. And as you guys can see, I'm starting to shift my strategies but I will always push to be better every single day to get myself into a position to hopefully teach and inspire you guys to hopefully just help one more person make their plan, their process, and their strategy just that much better, just by learning from me and seeing what I do, right? Because I know over time what I do works, and that's why I teach, because I want to hopefully help you guys in any way that I can to build your foundation, build your knowledge, and continue to grow on that, right? And every one of you guys in here listening, I want your guys' successes in every way possible, and at the end of the day, I've built my chat room and my scanners and, my course and my YouTube and everything in my room to kind of build that foundation and that knowledge to hopefully get you in a direction of profitability and success. But the reality is, guys, you have to always swallow this pill. 90% of traders fail. And I'm probably the 0.001%. But, at the end of the day, I have proven that it is possible if you put the time, the work, the effort in, if you continue to get better every day. And I show you guys what I do to hopefully give you some type of edge or some type of learning that you can build on, right? So, all right, guys. So anyways, but it's truly up to you. At the end of the day, if you just want to go through my YouTube, that's why it's free. I want you guys to learn. If you want to go through my chat room, that's why it's free. But you get what you pay for at the end of the day. That's how this world works, guys. I've always been that way. I always go to restaurants and I tip. If the food's good, you get what you pay for. I'll tip really good if you have good service, solid food. You put the effort in to kind of keep my waterfall. I will tip well. If you work on my house and it's done everything right and you did your best to acknowledge everything that I wanted and the process that you went to meet, you worked hard to kind of connect with me and build the house that I would like, then of course you're going to be rewarded for that. It's just how the world. That's just what the world we live in. And I knew that when I was younger. That's why I'm here now. Is I needed to find something that would put food on the table and put a roof over my head. And I found trading. Everyone has their own path, and this might not be the right path for you, but I'm hoping that, now at this point in my trading career, I can be the teacher and the mentor that you guys never had. And in any way possible, I do my best to respond to all DMs, but there's a lot of you guys, and truthfully, I'm only one person, and there's no making 2 or 3 of me. You can trade similar to me. You can, Jordan is the best example. A dude made almost $500,000 last year. He's definitely one of my good friends, and, actually we talk all the time, and he knows my trading strategies better than me. And I sometimes believe that, and it's crazy. But anyways, I've watched him progress over the years, and, now Ariel and now Diego and a lot of other people are starting to follow. Some of my students are following, and nothing makes me more happy than seeing them succeed. And I'm doing my best to track a lot of my students, but it's hard, okay? There's a lot of you guys out there. But guys, it takes time. It takes effort. And the consistency of the students that I've seen succeed are the ones that put the time in, that put the effort in, that want it, that are driven, and they come back every day and they show up, okay? That's the biggest thing, show up. So anyways, I'm done ranting, or this stream is way too long. Again, subscribe to the channel. I trade a little options, but this profits today I'm talking about is all stock. I'm mainly a 99.9% stock trader, a little bit of options, but I'm just messing around with them. If you guys haven't already, again, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you guys like and subscribe to the video, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something new. Keep building your knowledge, keep studying, keep working on your prospect planning strategies. Come back tomorrow better than you were today, and I'll see you guys